And we are moving on now to the Willis Watchdogs. This is where we get the opinions of some of our favorite people in television. And the first story here tonight, giving into guilt can really cost you. Take a look at billionaire George Kaiser. You know the Solyndra story. This is the VC guy behind this company. After accumulating all his wealth from the oil industry, Kaiser attempted to cancel out his carbon sins by backing the now bankrupt Solyndra, and his guilty conscience left taxpayers on the hook. As you know, $500 million. You and I paid it. Time to let the Willis Watchdogs out. Yu-Dee Chang is the chief trader and sole principal of Ace Investment Strategies in D.C. Sophie Keller is a life coach, author, and TV personality in L.A. And Susan Solovic is the CEO and co-founder of It'sYourBusiness.com. All right, Yu-Dee, what do you make of this? Do you ever do anything like that because you feel guilty about money you made? That sounds crazy to me.
Well, nothing like waking up to the smell of hypocrisy, right? I mean, that's exactly the case. First of all, this is Mr. Obama and his good friends. Basically, they're against so-called fossil fuel, yet that's what he's making the money at. They're against big banking, and he owns some major banks. And although he's speaking out against government aid packages, and he's taking it for his own pet project, which, by the way, failed. So I think it's sort of ridiculous. I don't think this class warfare is going to work. It's just not going to work.
You know, it's not just class warfare. It's like Chicago politics, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Right, Susan?
That's exactly it. It is Chicago politics in the White House. It's buying influence. My problem with all of this is if he really wanted to invest in that company, fine. He's got all that money. Let him go out and get all of his mega billionaires and go and invest in whatever risky venture they want to invest in. But I've been through the venture capital hunt. I know how you have to go through due diligence. I understand that. That wasn't done. They were gambling my money, Jerry, a taxpayer's money. That isn't right. And this rhetoric, you're right. It's fueling class warfare, and it's not right. And we need to really get a handle on it. And I want to tell these guys, these limousine liberals, you really want to give all your money away? You feel guilty? Hey, go write a big check and get rid of our deficit for the government.
That's right.
Sophie, I have to say I'm starting to feel the need for a life coach at this point because, we're getting upset every day about this taxpayer stuff. What do you have to say?
Well, what I have to say is, look, I like Obama, but I feel that he's misfired on a lot of accounts, really, because quite a lot of our money seems to have gone down the drain, whether it's to the banks or it's to this company. So I really understand why everybody's marching and quite upset at the moment.
Well, Yu-Dee, did you want to chime in here? Did you have something else? Like, are we going to get 4 cents from you today?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't understand this about marching and protesting for 3 weeks. I mean, why don't you take that 3 weeks and look for a real job and make your own living rather than standing out there without a purpose? So you're against capitalism. What should we be in for? I guess socialism. Well, wait a minute. That's proven not to work. So I guess we only have communism left.
Well, now we're talking about the Wall Street protests. Tried to figure that out all week. Didn't have any luck. Here's a story that makes a lot of sense, though. Apple's new CEO, Tim Cook, took the stage today, launching the highly anticipated iPhone 4S. Okay, you've been waiting for this. Here it is. The new iPhone is expected to be faster, thinner. Sounds like somebody you want to date. Loaded with new software and is set to hit shelves on October 14th. Steve Jobs, who stepped down in August, was not there. Yu-Dee, do you like this? I mean, how many iPhones can one person have?
I like it a lot. First of all, do you know what the S stands for?
No.
The S stands for the same. Well, in this case, for the consumer, stands for suckers. Actually,
so you don't like it?
Actually, that S actually stands for speed. In this case, basically, it's not much. The Wall Street is actually pretty disappointed in it. We were highly anticipating the so-called iPhone 5 and didn't come out. Was iPhone 4S, a little bit faster, like you said, better cameras, some software upgrades, and maybe a so-called personal voice command system. Nothing much there. But Street is saying that, wait a minute, they will, maybe in the very short run, do come up with iPhone 5, which is going to be totally different.
Right now, Jerry, I have to say, as a business person, one of the things we always know is under-promise and over-deliver. Here's the thing that Apple did. They created all these expectations, and this is why the stock market is reacting this way. They under-delivered. They did not meet their customer expectations. It's going to be interesting to see how their followers react to all of that.
Sophie, how many iPhones do you have?
Well, I actually have one iPhone, and I was very excited about the iPhone 5, and it is indeed a bit of a disappointment that it's called the iPhone 4S. But I think that Apple didn't think that it warranted a new number, but, you know, for the new things that it can do, like a better camera and, you know, sort of extended battery life. So, you know, good for them. They just stuck to the iPhone 4, and when the iPhone 5 comes out, it'll be fantastic.
Well,
I just have to say, one of the concerns when Steve Jobs resigned was, will Apple keep up its innovative and stay ahead of the track, be on the leading edge? This may be a message that's saying, uh-oh, what's going to happen to Apple?
You have to wonder at this point. I mean, it's an open question. Here, you guys, you have to hear this story. This was a good one today. A new Muppet making its debut on Sesame Street. Meet Lily. Lily's cute. Do we have a picture? Yes, we do. It's a poverty puppet. Okay, Lily's family struggles to make ends meet. This penniless puppet will be revealed in a 1-hour Sesame Street special and is hoping to reach the 1 in 4 children who the government says have limited access to nutritional food. Sophie, what do you make of this story?
Well, listen, I think this is absolutely great, because I think the younger that we can have our children understanding that there are people and kids less fortunate from them. So whatever they do with their lives, however they want to express themselves later on in their life, a part of that is always that they need to also be making a difference in the world. And I think the younger that we sort of instill that into them, the better. So great on Sesame Street.
Jerry, I have to say it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, I do agree with what she's saying, but we know in this country right now the greatest number of people living in poverty are women and children. And I think that's a sad reflection on our country. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and we have such high poverty. But on the other hand, I think it's very important for children to see this is not something they should be ashamed of. It is something that they can talk about. And, you know, kids can be mean to each other. And if you can open the dialogue, this gives you an opportunity to at least have a discussion about it. But I also think it's so important that those children still see there's hope. And that's what concerns me in our country right now.
Well, you know, and it's funny, you put this on television and you expect, you know, the poor kids have to see it on TV.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's funny. We just assume everybody has a television set, and maybe they don't.
That's a good point.
All right. Yu-Dee, Sophie, Susan, thanks so much for helping us out tonight. We really appreciate it. And still to come, my 2 cents more. Yes, I have 2 cents.